Through this journey of discovery, finding you and finding me, now that I have someone special who brings out the joy, which is inside of me. Thank you. Thank you very much. This is your boy Oscino Fly back with another review and getting close to almost wrapping up these strong black lead shows, these black shows that's coming on Netflix. We're going on to one of my personal favorites, Half and Half. Yes, Half and Half is one of the shows that I actually just liked off the bat. And for some reason, I don't know why, because this is one of the most unrelatable shows to me because what they've been through, I have never been through. But it's for some reason the show has drawn to me as a little boy. Maybe because I thought Rachel True was a beautiful woman, and to this day, she's like at least 50. And if you see her now, she is still a beautiful woman. That woman, black don't crack. But I know she said it herself, and she said it in the show, black don't crack, but it sure does sag. So if you look at someone like a Rachel True, you know that, that's a beautiful woman. So is Essence Atkins. Like, I remember watching her from Smart Guy, so watching her from going from Smart Guy to Half and Half, she is also beautiful too. These are two gorgeous, beautiful women. And if I may quote Andre the Black Nerd, this show was made for me. Do you like Rachel True? Yeah. Do you like Essence Atkins? Yeah. How would you watch a show with two of them together? Of course I would. And this is basically the show. Now, describing Half and Half, according to IMDb, Mona and Dee Dee are half-sisters who share the same father. They are completely unlike each other, but they live in the same apartment building, so disagreements are common. But if you really want to get in real details of the show, yes, they are half-sisters. Mona is obviously played by Rachel True, is the older sister who's basically, whose father was a real estate agent, and then I guess she married Dee Dee's mom, who is also Big Dee Dee. And let's just say that Mona basically had to get everything on her own, all this stuff, and Dee Dee was spoiled. If you've seen my last review of Parkers, I think the Parkers are hilarious, which is really hilarious. I enjoy watching this show, but I think the writing is much more better in this show. You really feel for Mona sometimes. She is definitely like the Charlie Brown in this situation, and sometimes you can see she has bad luck with men. Even though she has a good job as an A&R executive, it's just when it comes to her love life, it's just terrible. And then going through her childhood, I think it speaks on a lot of divorced parents' childhood because, like I said, Dee Dee, she came, her parents was always rich, but Mona, they basically had to get it on their own. And it's a lot of, how can I say this? Everything gets put out there. Especially Mona not really getting to spend time with her father like that. Dee Dee being spoiled, getting everything she want. Her being the older sister baby, older sister, younger sister thing, how Dee Dee is always spoiled. She don't really know much about the real world. Really, Dee Dee is really materialistic, and Mona is really earthy. It's really complex, and I feel like the type of writing, it has to be complex, but it does open a lot of things. One thing I will say this, the writing I do think is much better than the Parkers. Although the Parkers is definitely, you'll get your quick laughs and all that stuff on it. Now, Half and Half, it has funny moments too, especially Spencer. Played by Chico Benima. He's basically the comic relief there, and he throws a couple of one-liners. It's really he's really hilarious. I think Mona, who's playing this awkward black girl, and a lot of people look at her as the trendsetter of the awkward black girl, which is a lot when you look on Twitter, a lot of people is Mona is their spirit animal. When it comes to these awkward black women and all that stuff, Mona crawled so Issa Rae can run. And I tend to agree with that. Now, at the beginning of the episode, she was more clumsy and more of a klutz, you know, being that awkward black girl, but they kind of toned that down a little bit after the season. But, you know, like, you still want to root for Mona. You want to see Mona do for good. Now, Dee Dee, although she knows she's spoiled, from what I get from, she's trying not to be like a spoiled brat all the time, but she knows that things was given to her. And most of the time, she's trying to reconnect with her half-sister, which they really haven't, if I'm correct, they haven't spoken in 10 years after that. So most of the time, Dee Dee is trying to reconcile with her sister from, you know, the sins of their parents, which I also will get into. First things first, the cast. You could not pick a more perfect cast. I know I keep saying this in my other reviews. When it comes to casting, they knew who to put who with who. And everything is chemistry, you know, with the chemistry and all that stuff. Mona looks just like Thelma Hopkins. Like, if you would have put these people in real life, Mona and her mother and Dee Dee and her mother, if you would have put them together, you could tell, like, damn, it's such a likeness that you would have actually thought they were actual mother and daughters. It's really in there. So, and the casting, I think, is perfect. And everybody in here, like, is hilarious. Some of my favorite things on the show are, like, the quips between Phyllis and Big Dee Dee. Basically, when you put them the two together, they're the most catty, I don't want to say catty, but they quip back and forth. They're right behind Martin and Pam, where I know a lot of people, Martin and Pam, throw them jokes. If you ever watch them shows, if you ever watch Half and Half, if you understand, when Phyllis and Dee Dee are in the room, they go back and forth at it. Like, their quips are like real quick and top notch and all that other stuff. And like, it seems like they always try to one up each other. And it's a pleasure to see because they are both funny. Especially, like, if I could find some footage, I will put it in there.
Glenn couldn't make it, but he wanted me to thank you for acknowledging the contributions of firemen.
Well, his courage and bravery should be celebrated. Dating you is truly a colossal act of kindness.
I'll ignore that since you're finally doing something good. I guess when you peel back all those superficial layers, there's more underneath than just a tall, bald man.
Like, some of their quips are just quick like that. They're quick with it. They're funny, and they always get each other. And it's like a sport to them. It's just like who can outdo the other. And I love that part about that. It's just like, it's catty, but it's not, like, it's catty, but it's not bitchy. It's the best way I can put about it. Where a lot of people like that Martin and Pam vibe, where like a lot of them, they throw jokes at each other. This is like right behind there, like 1A and 1B. Like I said, as far as Mona goes, like, you just want to root for Mona. Every time I watch the show, it's like, damn, I want her to do good. And it's just like, I want her just to be happy. You just see her, she want to be happy and all that stuff. She wants to find love. She wants to find, be in a marriage and all that other stuff. Dee Dee, you can't help, but she cannot help but to be adorable. Sometimes there's like 2 scenes where she's like in a bikini or in a bra and panties, and there's times where I'm looking like, damn, that woman got it. But she, Dee Dee, but she's not disliked or hateable. Like, you kind of like know, she kind of knows that she grew up spoiled, but she's trying to reconcile things with her sister, trying to have this communication with her sister. And I appreciate that from her standpoint. Like, she don't act spoiled, but she know that she got it. But Big Dee Dee, I think she's come sometimes to be the highlight of the show because she knows she's living that rich and fancy lifestyle, and she puts it all in her face, and she don't care who is there to see it. Like, especially the Phyllis, like, she'll put it in her face. Phyllis, played by Thelma Hopkins, she's a psychiatrist, which is really funny because she's a psychiatrist, but sometimes she do give some bad advice. Like, I've seen her give really bad advice, and sometimes she's like always in Mona's business, but you can tell she wants best for him. Like, everything like she does, she try to get her a date, she want grandbabies and all that other stuff. It's just like any other mother that, want their kids to have grandbabies. One thing I did point out to the show is just like, who wouldn't want Rachel True? Or who wouldn't want Mona? Most of her, and I'm going to tell you this, and this is probably the man in me, like, I'm a titty man. Most of the outfits she wears, Mona wears, her titties is just there, and it's just lovely. You know, you just can't help to stare at her. Like, but she is a beautiful woman in like every aspect of the way. But them titties be sitting up when depending on what dress she wears, and she's just. I mean, she has a beautiful structure of a face too, so it's just like you cannot help to like look her in awe. And that's a beautiful woman too. But I know a lot of dudes that said I watched this show because of Rachel True with her fine ass. But the other characters in there, Abba Babatunde plays the father. Even though he's not there all the time, when he comes in, he does his thing. I think he was pretty funny in some of this stuff. But more or less, he's basically there to be the father. And I feel like he does his job. I know there's times where like he knows he's being used for money, especially with Big Didi. When he knows he get around, he's like, damn, I might have to buy a jewelry just to shut her up and shit. Like, he plays his job too. It also focuses a lot on Mona's love life and all that other stuff. It's 4 seasons, and it ends on a point where like where Mona was actually like she had 2 dudes to pick from, Lorenzo. And I forgot the other dude's name, but he's played by Lance Gross. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I was always Team Spencer. And this the one nitpick I have with this season is that I think at the end of season 2, I thought they was going to run with her and Spencer having a relationship. But at the beginning of season 3, they just shut that off. And I'm kind of disappointed in that because maybe it's just me. Her chemistry with Spencer, and I understand they're like best friends and all that other stuff. Her chemistry with Spencer, I feel like, is very deeper than the one she had with Lorenzo and Lance Gross's character that I cannot think of his name. But like, they're both good dudes, but I always felt like she should have went with Spencer. And this is one of the tropes that I hate in sometimes sitcoms, the will they, won't they. Half of the times I feel like, and Girlfriends did it, the will they, won't they, like the male best friend that all of a sudden comes into a couple, or will they, won't they. I know a lot of people, they don't want to go there, but I always feel like you should go there, at least experiment if it's really a good thing. I know Girlfriends did it, and even though they went there, I felt like that could have went further, but it didn't. At the end of season 2, like, they kiss, and you know, you could tell they was having feelings for each other. That man comes back, and it's just like him having bad breath just kills it all, and then it never gets talked about again. Which I was like, oh, that's lazy. Me personally, I didn't like that, and I thought like that's why I'm always like, I felt like she should have went with Spencer. Don't get me wrong, Lorenzo and whatever Lance Gross's character was, they look like good dudes. They probably were good dudes, but I was just always Team Spencer. The gay Asian dude, I can't remember his name. He's pretty funny. He has a lot of one-liners. And Adam, that's his name. His name is Adam in the show. I can't remember his real name, but he is Adam in the show. He's actually one of the first openly gay dudes that I remember on TV. And other than RuPaul, but he did it. To me, he did his thing on the show. He was very funny. He had quick one-liners, and it's none of the gay jokes was cringy. If anybody watched this show and you see him, the jokes was done right. And yes, they were in San Francisco, so of course you're gonna see gay people there. It's just one of those things where it's just like they did this right. The writing is real quick. Also. I also learned that the producer, Yvette Lee Bowser, that was the same woman that did Living Single. And in one of the episodes, you bring in the Living Single people, Erica Alexander, and the guy that plays Kyle Barker. Why can't I remember his name? But anyway, they bring in Maxine Shaw and Kyle Barker in there, and then you mix them in this universe. And I was like, oh snap. Half and half and Living Single in the same universe. That put a smile on my face, and that was also a good episode as well too. It's good seeing like Kyle Barker in there, Maxine Shaw. So that's one of the things I like. Overall, I enjoyed watching this show. I was actually disappointed that I binge watched this whole thing. Like, I really enjoyed watching this show, and I really enjoyed rooting for Mona. I really enjoyed Dee Dee doing things on her own, being an independent woman. I enjoyed the Asian woman with the one-liner. Tina. I even enjoyed it. Everything about this show I enjoy more, and I'm like, it reminds me why I did like this show, because the writing is really good. It's really relatable. I don't feel none of it is aged and cringy. And I still love the song Have a Seat on My Love. Rest in peace, Marilyn Santana. Even though I know Chico Benny Mon sang that song. Everything about this show I did enjoy. It's one of the shows that I would actually go back and watch again just because I like this show so much. The theme song does not annoy me at all. I actually love the theme song. It's one of those things. Yes, I did skip it a couple times just because I just wanted, I was binge watching. But it's really a good show. And I feel like whoever you are, you're going to watch and love this show. You're going to root for, especially Mona. You're going to root for him. You're going to love the wittiness between Dee Dee and Phyllis, Big Dee Dee and Phyllis. You're going to love Mona trying to find love in her life, and you're going to enjoy the sistership rekindling that Mona and Dee Dee go through. So everything about this show, I just really love, and I advise anybody. This is one of the shows that I was really waiting on. That I haven't even getting started on 101, and that's the last show that I was supposed to binge watch. But I said I might take a break from that, because I still want to do other music reviews. But overall, watch half and half. You're not gonna regret it. I think especially if you're an awkward black girl, you're gonna love this show. So with that being said, 101 is the last one out of all this. When I get to it, y'all will obviously see the review, but I also want to go back to doing music reviews too. So with that being said, I've enjoyed doing these black sitcom reviews, and I like going back in time and watching some of these shows. What about y'all? Have y'all finished? Because I know a lot of people binge watching it and loving it as much as I do. Oh, y'all loving it as much as I am? Because I know I am loving it. And I know a lot of other people are loving it too. So let me know what y'all think. Till then, my name's Oscino Fly, and I'm out. Peace.
Fancy ass man wear glove and rings, flying around town in a tub of wings. Found out how to make love to fiends. He mixing that fudge with the drug of dreams. She too teenage to have a drug of choice, but she fuck with that Royce like she love Detroit. She roll.
Pharaoh.